Hello techies. In the previous tutorial, we have learned how to sign up Google Cloud Platform for free. And also we have learned how to create API key using Cloud Natural Language API. If you see over here on my screen, we are in the API and services in the Google Cloud Platform. To create a new API key, which we are going to use for the natural language API, we are going to create credentials, and after that we are going to select the option API key, and then we'll get the new API key over here under the API keys, which we are going to use this API key in our Power Automate desktop under the cognitive services to analyze the sentiments or to analyze our natural language processing. All right. Now let's switch to Power Automate desktop. Over here, if you see under the cognitive services, we are having Google Cloud Platform. Inside that, I'm having natural language. Now, in this tutorial, we will learn how to work with analyze sentiment action, which is available under the cognitive actions. Let me drag and drop this action onto the workspace. What is the purpose of this analyze sentiment action? It invokes the Google Cloud Natural Language Service named as Analyze Sentiment. By using this action, we can analyze the sentiment like positive sentiment, negative sentiment, or neutral sentiment by using this Analyze Sentiment. Before going to learn about the Analyze Sentiment parameters, first of all, we need to learn few things. The first one is sentiment analysis, another one API. First, we'll see what is sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis is performed through the analyze sentiment method inside the analyze sentiment. Now, by using this sentiment analysis, inspects the given text and identify the emotion, opinion within the text, especially to determine a writer's attitude as positive, negative, or neutral. So that by using this analyze sentiment, we can get the emotional opinion in such a way as positive, negative, or neutral. Now, the second one, the API. What is API? Why we are going to use API keys over here? API stands for Application Programming Interface, which is a software intermediary that allows two applications to communicate each other. In our scenario, we are having Power Automate Desktop and Google Cloud Platform. These two applications communicate each other by using this API key. Now, before going to learn about these parameters, I will give you a small use case over here. Let me go to Amazon.in. Over here, I'm going to take the reviews of the laptops. Now I'm going to search for Dell laptop. Now let me select any one of the product over here from the laptops. Now if you see, I'm having Lenovo ThinkPad E15, so that I'm having some reviews for this product, right? Now if you go for the end of the page, you will find the reviews over here. You can see over here, top reviews from India. There you can see very good laptop. This is the review which I'm going to read. If you are lucky to receive without any manufacturing issues. This is the review which I have in the text format, so that I need to know, is it the opinion or emotional opinion is positive, negative, or neutral. So based on this kind of reviews, we want to know for the particular product having the positive sentiment or negative sentiment or neutral sentiment. This is some kind of use case that I'm going to use it. All right. Now let me go back to my Power Automate desktop. There, the first parameter is the API key. Which API key we need to provide? It's a communicating between two applications, right? By using this API. Now, we have already created one of the API over here, API key. Let me go ahead, let me copy this from the Google Cloud Platform, which is available under APIs and services. Now, I'm going to use the same key over here. Let me paste that. Now, the second parameter is the document type. The document type we are having in the plain text or in the HTML format. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to select the plain text over here and the provided document. These reviews will be provided in the document format. One is from file, another from GCS. GCS is nothing but Google Cloud Storage, where you can provide the URL whenever you are going to select it. This is the GCS content URI, where you are having the file over here to analyze the sentiment. All right, now I'm going to select from file and the file path where this plain text is available. To make you understand what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a notepad over here with the name of reviews. I have created a notepad with the name of reviews so that inside that I'm having the blank document. I will provide the text to analyze the emotion, right? Or the review, we can say, we will provide the review over here in the particular notepad with the name of reviews. All right. Now let me go back to Power Automate desktop once again. Now I'm going to give the same path over here, that is E colon Power Automate desktop, and after that we are having reviews text, right? I have selected that. Now this is our file path, right? Now if you see the long ways, what is this long way? This will be specifying the plain text in which long ways you have given the review. All right. By default, it is in English, so that we don't want to mention it over here. If it is some other language, then you will provide the language over here in a such a way related to that code. All right. Now, if you go for the parameter advanced, if you see in advanced, we are having only single parameter, that is timeout. So the communication between these two applications has some timeout, right? Beyond that, you don't want to connect between these two things. In such a way, we are having Power Automate desktop as well as the Google Cloud platform, right? In between, we are going to use this API to keep the connection open for 30 seconds. I'm going to give the timeout over here for 30 seconds. All right. Now we have given all the required parameters to analyze our text by using analyze sentiment action. Now, once you have provided that, we'll get some variables as an output. You can see there are two variables, that is one is JSON response, another one status code. The JSON response will give in two fields, one is magnitude, another one score as an output. Along with that, you will get the long ways also. First, we'll see what is this JSON. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation, is a standard text-based format for representing the structured data based on the JavaScript object syntax. It is commonly used for transmitting the data between these two applications. In our case, Power Automate Desktop as well as Google Cloud Platform. And if you see the other output, we are having status code. The status code will give in a such a way, like with the code 200 or 400. 200 stands for this successfully processed the entire link between the Power Automate desktop, and after that, from the Google Cloud Platform, we have received the request or the response successfully. In such a way, we'll get the status code as 200. If the connection between these two applications is not proper or it has been thrown some error, in that case we'll get 400, which is nothing but bad request response, which indicates that the server cannot or will not process the particular request. All right. Now let's click on save. Now the response I want to display in the particular message box. I will use the action over here as display message. Let me drag and drop this action onto the workspace. Now the message box title, I'm going to give it as output. And the message to display, what is the output we got it from the JSON response, right? That is the output. So that I'm going to select the output over here as JSON response. Let me select that. And after that, I'm going to save it. Now, before going to run this flow, I want to give some text over here to analyze my sentiment, right? Now let me go to the reviews notepad over here. I'm going to give Titanic is a good movie. I'm just going to give some review over here so that I will analyze based on the text over here by using analyze sentiment. All right. Now I have given some reviews for the movie. This is product and I have given the review. Is it a positive or negative or neutral? We need to identify by using our analyze sentiment. All right. Now what we will do, we will run the flow by clicking on run to see the output. Flow execution started. And you can see I got the output in such a way in JSON format. All right. There you can see few things over here. Document sentiment, you can see in magnitude and the score is 0.8. And the language is English and the sentence which you have given. Right now we have given some sentences, right, in the text format that is Titanic is a good movie. And you can see begin offset 0 and the sentiment is again you can see 0.8 and the score is 0.8. So how can we understand is it the positive sentiment or negative sentiment or neutral sentiment based on the given output from the JSON response? First of all, we want to know the magnitude and score. Over here, score of the sentiment ranges between minus 1.0 that is negative and 1.0 positive. So the score will be realized in between these two values and the correspondence to the overall emotional learning of the text. If the value is greater than 0, then it is a positive. If it is a less than 0, then it is the negative sentiment. If the score is exactly 0, then it is neutral. That is the score values, you will get it over here in this particular score of the JSON response. Now, if you see the magnitude indicates the overall strength of the emotion, both positive and negative within the given text. These values will be ranges from 0.0 to infinity. There is no negative values for the magnitude. It will be always there in such a way 0.0 to infinity. Unlike score, magnitude is not normalized. Each expression of the emotion within the text both should be positive and negative, which contributes the text of the magnitude. All right. Now, you got the values over here. The score is 0.8. In such a way, the output is positive or the emotion is positive sentiment. All right. Now I will show you one more example over here. Now let me go for the reviews. I'm going to do the same thing over here, but I'm going to remove some of the context over here or the text over here. I'm just saying Titanic is a movie. By looking into this text, what we can learn, this is the neutral sentiment. There's no positive over here, there's no negative. So that what is the score we'll get it? We'll get it as 0. All right, we'll see that by running this flow. Flow execution started. And now you can see over here, the magnitude is 0 and the score is 0. That is nothing but it's a neutral. All right. Now let me click on OK. Now once again, I'm going to give the review over here. Titanic is a bad movie. Please don't mind the fans of the Titanic. I'm just going to give the review over here like Titanic is a bad movie. All right. Now what we'll get as a response, we'll get the score over here as negative and the magnitude will be always positive value that is starting from 0.0 to infinity. All right. Let me show you that by running this flow. Flow execution started and you can see the output over here. The magnitude I'm having 0.8, it will be always positive, that is start from 0.0 to infinity. And the score you can see this is negative sentiment, right? By seeing the test we can analyze this is the negative review, right? The score is minus 0.8 and the long ways you can see English and the sentence is that Titanic is a bad movie. All right. Now we'll see the status code over here. You can see for all the status we got the status code as 200. What is this mean status code 200? It's nothing but we have processed the request successfully. Now to make you understand what I will do, I will give some wrong API key over here so that you will get the request and response as 400. I'm going to delete some of the values from the API key and then I'm going to click on save. Now, once again, let's run the flow to see the output for the status code only. Flow execution started. Now you can see over here, I got the code error as 400. Nothing but which indicates the bad request response. You can see over here very clearly the status is invalid argument and you can see Google aps.com/Google error which will says API key is invalid. All right. There you can see the status code also as 400. Now let me revert these changes once again for the API keys. Now we have seen how to analyze the text from our document or from our text by using analyze sentiment. Now, I want to take the JSON response, and then based on that, what I have to do, I have to finalize in a such a way, I have to give the output in a such a way, is it positive or negative? First of all, we can see the output over here, JSON response. Let's click on that. The response is coming in a such a format in the custom object, right? Now, once again, let me run the flow to see the proper output over here, which we are going to get it from the JSON response. Now, if you see the output JSON response, I'm having the output in the custom object where you are having document sentiment, long way, and the sentence. Where we are having the score and magnitude inside the document sentiment. If once again, let me click on more. There you can find the magnitude as 0.8 and the score is 0.8. Now, what I have to do based on the score, I need to finalize that the particular text is negative or positive or neutral sentiment. Based on that, I'm going to display that. First of all, I need to convert the score text to integer format, right? So that I'm going to close this. I'm going to use one more action over here, that is convert text to number. All right, let me drag and drop this action onto the workspace. And then I'm going to give the text to convert. What is the text to convert? I'm having JSON, that is JSON response. Inside that, I'm having the document sentiment, right? I'm going to select that. So that how can we go ahead and give the values over here? That I'm going to give the properties over here, document sentiment. And after that, inside once again, I'm having the score value, right? You can see over here, I'm having the score also. So that I'm going to convert this text into number format. All right. Now the output I are going to get it as text as number, or I will say score as number. Let me click on save. Now whatever the score we got it will be converted into the number. Now if the score is less than 0, in that case we'll give it as negative sentiment. If the value is exactly 0, then we are going to mentioning it as neutral sentiment. And if the value is greater than, if the score value is greater than 0, in that case, we'll make it as positive sentiment. For that, what is the action that we need to use? We need to use if and also else if actions onto the workspace. There you can see if actions, I'm going to use another one else if actions. All right. Now I have used already if condition over here, else if actions. And then what I'm going to do, based on the score number which I'm going to get it, I'm going to display a message in a such a way as neutral sentiment. If it is exactly the score value is 0, then I'm going to make it as neutral sentiment. If it is greater than 0, then I'm going to make it as positive sentiment. If the score is less than 0, then I'm going to make it as negative sentiment. I'm going to display the message over here. All right. Now let's run the flow to see the output. Flow execution started. And you can see I got the output as in a such a way. First of all, we have taken from the JSON response, right? You can see over here score is minus 0.8, so that we will get it as negative sentiment as an output. You can see the status information over here, negative sentiment. All right, let's click on OK. Now, once again, I'm going to make it Titanic is a very good movie as a review. All right, let me save this. Once again, let's run the flow to see the output. Flow execution started. And you can see right now we got the score as 0.9 because of we have given the review in such a way as very good movie, right? So that the score is 0.9. By saying this, that we can understand it's a positive sentiment. And you can see the magnitude as 0.9. All right, let's click on OK. Now you can see the status as positive sentiment. All right, let's click on OK. Now, when you observe over here, we are going to get the long ways also, right? For everything, the review has given in which long ways, that is also has been mentioned over there. All right. Now, we are having some exceptions for this analyze sentiment action also. How can we go ahead and get that? Let's double click on analyze sentiment. There you can see on error. So the exceptions will get it over here as failed to invoke cognitive services. So you can add any kind of rules over here. If you expand once again, advanced, there you can see failed to invoke cognitive service. It will indicate a problem while you are trying to invoke the cognitive services which we have given in the Google Cloud Platform by using APIs and services. And there is another error also or exception also is there, that is request timeout expired. Sometimes it will take more time to get the request and response. If it is taking more than the given time, then we will get the response as an output like request timeout expired. All right. I hope you understand how to work with analyze sentiment as part of the natural long ways. Thank you for watching Power Automate tutorials. If you have any queries related to this concept, please post them in the comment section. I will see you in the next session. Till then, bye bye. Have a wonderful day.